For the past 3 summers, I've spent my time focused on exploring Britain with my husband Ian, and in particular our beloved area of outstanding natural beauty in England called the Cotswolds. I spend so much time running around the Cotswolds filming all summer that as we return home to Texas for the winter, I always tell myself I'll have plenty of time to edit all the fabulous footage and publish videos of our adventures, but there is never enough time. Today, I found in the vaults of my camera storage some lovely images of an afternoon we spent in Naunton. This is a wee village in Gloucestershire that I decided in 2021 was my favorite village in the Cotswolds. But here we are, 2 years later, and I still haven't published the vlog of the magical moments I spent in the perfect afternoon of this gem of a village. So better now than never, let's take a look at what Naunton has to offer. I first heard about Naunton when I saw a lovely photo a friend took of the church from the top of the hill overlooking the village. I talked Ian into driving around and dropping me off on the roadside so that I could hike through the fields and try to replicate that shot. It truly is a picturesque place. As we were looking for Naunton up on the high road, we spied on the hillside just beyond it a glorious field of red poppies. Ian set out to fly the drone over this field, and I set out on foot to explore the village streets. After leaving the throngs of people crowded into Bourton by noontime, it was lovely to come to Naunton and find it very quiet here. Naunton is also on the River Windrush, just like Bourton, and I'm going to follow this bit of river through Naunton to see where it takes me. I'm fascinated by these wee stairs that go up to this little wooden door at the top of this home. Here's one of those wooden doors up on the upper level again. I wonder if they piled wool in there and then took it out through those upper doors back in the day. This beautiful row of cottages looks very old. Here's another one of those wooden doors on the upper level of a building. I have another theory, and that is maybe it was for hay or straw or feed, whatever they fed the sheep. My dad grew up on a dairy farm in Illinois, and they had a door like that they would throw the hay bales out of to feed the cows. Here's the old bakehouse with magenta flowers in front of it. If you told me that there were a couple otters living in the river here, I'd say this is the totally perfect home for me. This tree is massive and a wonderful shade tree. I'm noticing that the St. Andrew's Church here in Naunton has the same vicar as Lower Slaughter, so that means the vicar probably has several parish churches that she is in charge of. Before we drove down into the valley where Naunton is located, I could see St. Andrew's Church from up on the hillside miles away. Its tower just kind of glowing in the sunshine because of the golden Cotswold stone. Stay tuned and click the subscribe and bell buttons, because coming soon is my long-awaited How to Plan a Trip to the Cotswolds video, and I hope you check it out. The church tower has no clock on it, but it does have a sundial. It's about 1 p.m., but I can't tell if that's what the sundial says. Let me know if you have a clue. Trying to get close enough to show the cool grotesques at the top of the tower. I'm obsessed with devil's doors, and this one does look really small, but you can't tell because I'm not standing in front of it. Ian's not here to take a video or photo. All right, I love this bell tower because you can really see all the ropes that are pulled to ring the bells, and this totally reminds me of the church that they used when they filmed the Agatha Raisin episode where she was trying to learn how to be a bell ringer. I wonder if this is the church where they filmed it. I believe this is a 15th century font, which is also very beautiful. It's a small church here in Naunton. It doesn't have a super grand high ceiling or amazing stained glass windows, but it is ancient and lovely. And I have to show you the pulpit. I believe it's also 15th century. And even though the carvings are a bit worn, it's still beautiful. What I love about Naunton is that it's in a valley with these lovely green rolling Cotswold hills leading down into this perfect little Cotswold village that's quieter than most. I guess part of the reason it's quiet around here is that the speed limit is 20. Does anyone else see an ancient stone wall of a building with a wee little door like this and wonder, why was that put there? What was it used for? This really kind of shows how Naunton is just settled in the hills. My new favorite little Cotswold village. Now I'm going down the pub in search of a spot of lunch. The Black Horse is the only eating establishment in Naunton, but it's a nice one. Good basic pub grub and reasonable prices. We ordered a chef salad, a cheese and pickle sandwich, which I'm pleased yet mystified to report was crammed full of delicious shredded cheese. And for dessert, I ordered rhubarb crumble with custard. It was my first time trying crumble with custard, and it was the perfect complement to the tangy rhubarb. So scrummy. Not to get too philosophical, but I think this bottle of water I was given with my lunch at the pub is a good metaphor for Naunton. Unlike its pretentious, overpriced, and overly fussy neighboring villages like Bourton, Naunton just gives you what you want. Pure, clean, beautiful Cotswolds. No crowds, no traffic jams, no overpriced boxes of mass-produced clotted cream fudge. Check out this bird bath they have here in the pub garden. Reminds me of the saying, you can lead a horse to water. Speaking of water and horses, I have a few more clips to share about those topics. This is a lovely old pump I found along the road in Naunton. This is the second ancient pump I've seen here in Naunton, but this one is next to a beautiful hillside of daisies. Hello, pretty horsey. I wish I had an apple or a carrot or something to feed you. You live in a pretty place. Here is the River Windrush, the old mill, and the horse in the field next door. And now we're going to go visit the ancient dovecote.
Naunton's dovecote is particularly large. It has 1,175 nesting places.
Wow.
And the bottom part of the dovecote was filled in to prevent chickens from laying their eggs inside it.
There's a dove up there in the dovecote, so I'm waiting to see if he flies away while I'm filming. This dovecote is thought to have been built in the early 1600s. It's a beautiful old building, very interesting. You can see all the little condos in the birdhouse complex up there at the top. And then this dove sitting here in the window who's refusing to fly out just because he knows I'm filming. I highly recommend you come have a wander through the quiet, empty streets of Naunton yourself. Explore the church, the dovecote, the river, and the bridge. Maybe even say hello to a horse in the field. Also, just take a moment to soak up the peaceful Cotswold charm of a village that looks much like it did 400 years ago. And let me know if maybe it might be your favorite Cotswold village too. Thanks so much for watching this video, my friends. And do something good in the world today.